Welcome back to The Explainer. Look, if you're navigating the crypto space in 2026, you've absolutely run into OKX. It's a massive heavyweight, right up there with Binance and Coinbase. But hey, a slick interface and a massive marketing budget shouldn't be the only things driving your financial decisions. Today, we're cutting through the hype and breaking down the exact hidden risks you need to know about before you even think about depositing your funds.
So ask yourself, are you overlooking the hidden risks here? It happens all the time. People jump onto an exchange because of rock-bottom fees or a crazy huge list of altcoins. But if you don't grasp the deeper mechanics, things like custody risks, withdrawal limits, or shifting regional regulations, you could easily find your crypto locked up with literally zero recourse. We're not here to sell you on OKX, and we're not here to tear it down. We're just giving you an impartial, absolute reality check on how this machine actually operates.
Okay, here's our roadmap for today's explainer. We'll start with an overview and exchange ownership, then look into legality, safety, and reserves. After that, we'll hit trading features and hidden fees, withdrawals and cashing out, major custody and leverage risks, and wrap up with our final checklist and verdict.
Right, moving into part 1, overview and exchange ownership. Who exactly is running the show?
Technically speaking, OKX is a centralized trading ecosystem. But what does centralized actually mean for your wallet? Well, it means that while OKX gives you incredible tools, we're talking spot, futures, bots, full Web3 access, you are relying 100% on their internal systems. When you deposit your crypto, OKX is just recording your balance on their own private ledger. Sure, this makes trading incredibly fast and super cheap since you're dodging blockchain fees for every single swap. But the trade-off is huge. You are totally subject to their account reviews, their security controls, and their specific withdrawal rules. You really have to remember, an OKX account is fundamentally different from a personal self-custody wallet.
The platform was founded by CEO Stars Yu and has grown into a massive Web3 and institutional powerhouse. But here is the absolute most critical takeaway. You aren't just doing business with some vague global brand. You are trusting a very specific legal entity, and that entity changes depending on where you happen to live. Take Europe, for example. OKX uses a Malta-based entity to align with the European MiCA compliance framework, meaning the rules governing your account, the actual legal protections you have, and the features you can use. They will completely shift based on which regional OKX branch serves your country.
Next up, part 2, legality, safety, and reserves. Let's look at how safe this platform truly is.
You've got to understand that safety on any crypto exchange is really a two-way street. On one side, you have platform safety. OKX manages this. They handle the heavy lifting, like infrastructure security, internal controls, and proof of reserves. But on the flip side is account safety, and that is entirely on you. You're the one on the hook for strong passwords, enabling two-factor authentication, and locking down your devices. Honestly, it's wild, but the vast majority of lost funds don't come from massive exchange hacks anymore. They come from everyday phishing scams and compromised emails. OKX could have military-grade security, but if someone gets into your personal email, your funds are gone.
Which brings us to the hard truth about proof of reserves. Yes, OKX uses it to publicly verify the assets backing user balances, and hey, that transparency is fantastic. But pay close attention to what it does not do. Proof of reserves will not protect you from having your account restricted. It won't stop your withdrawals from being paused for a random security review. And it absolutely won't save you if the compliance rules in your local region suddenly change overnight. Think of it as a helpful transparency tool, not a magical safety net. Let's jump into part 3, trading features and hidden fees. What is the actual cost of doing business here? So OKX runs on a standard maker-taker model for spot trades. Basically, your fee depends on whether you're adding liquidity to the market or taking it away. But as the saying goes, death, taxes, and hidden crypto fees. You simply cannot judge a platform just by its flashy baseline trading fees. You've got to dig deeper. You have to factor in withdrawal network fees, payment provider charges if you're using fiat, spread costs, and funding rates if you're trading perpetual contracts. An exchange might look like a total bargain on the surface, but once you add up the slippage on less liquid assets and conversion fees, the true cost of your trade can really sting.
Moving right along to part 4, withdrawals and cashing out. Because getting your money onto the exchange is easy, right? Getting it off is the real test.
If you want to avoid a massive headache, you need a strict exit process. Step 1. Verify your KYC status and make absolutely sure that fiat cash outs are supported in your specific region. Step 2, when you're withdrawing crypto, you have to select the exact, perfectly matching blockchain network. Send a token on the wrong network, yeah, it's usually gone forever. Step 3, and seriously, this is the golden rule, execute a small test withdrawal first. Do not skip this. Waiting for a massive crypto transfer to clear without testing it first is a level of anxiety you just do not need. Finally, step 4, only transfer the rest of your heavy bags once you've confirmed that test transaction actually landed safely.
Okay, part 5, major custody and leverage risks. It's time to confront the 2 biggest traps for beginners.
You really need to weigh these 2 risks. On the left, you've got custody risk. As we touched on earlier, funds are held centrally. You literally do not control your own private keys here. You are completely dependent on OKX staying solvent and processing your withdrawals. Now look at the right side, leverage risk. OKX gives you access to some highly advanced futures and margin trading tools. If you start messing around with perpetual contracts and high leverage, you are strapping a rocket to your portfolio's exposure. Even a tiny standard bit of crypto market volatility can trigger fast losses and instantly liquidate your entire account. These are pro-level tools, and you've got to treat them with serious respect.
And that brings us to part 6, our final checklist and verdict. So, who is OKX actually built for? Let's lay the cards on the table. The strengths are definitely there. OKX is an absolute powerhouse for active traders looking for deep spot and futures liquidity, highly competitive fees, and a massive suite of Web3 tools. But the weaknesses are just as glaring. This platform can be incredibly overwhelming for beginners. The interface is complex, making it way too easy to accidentally stumble into high-risk leveraged products you might not fully grasp. Plus, the heavy regional and fiat restrictions mean your user experience is going to vary wildly depending on your zip code. And of course, that centralized custody risk is always lurking in the background.
So before you move a single Satoshi over to this platform, run through this pre-deposit checklist. First off, check the official OKX availability for your exact country. Do not assume it's totally legal just because the homepage happens to load in your browser. Second, confirm that you can actually legally pass their KYC checks. Third, and I cannot stress this enough, never ever use a VPN to bypass regional restrictions. That is basically a fast track to getting your account frozen and your withdrawals completely locked. Fourth, double check that you can actually cash out fiat locally. And lastly, do yourself a favor and set up robust 2-factor authentication right from the start. Which leaves us with one final critical question. Are you prepared to treat OKX purely as a high-speed trading platform rather than a long-term personal bank? Look, OKX is undeniably powerful for active traders, but it is not a risk-free vault. So before you dive in, make sure you're ready to secure your own account, steer clear of dangerous leverage if you don't know what you're doing, and take self-custody of your long-term holdings. Master that difference, and you'll master the platform. Thanks for tuning into this explainer. Keep learning, and as always, stay secure out there.